Welcome to the Women of Charmed. I'm Desiree Dunbar, and I'm so honored to be here with you. I support women in transitions to help them see where they've come from and celebrate that, and to then also look forward and to be the creator, almost like the artist of their own life, to be able to pick and choose and create consciously how they want their next chapter, and I like to say next era, unfold. And over in our Charmed Sisterhood, we practice this every single week. We stay connected as a community so we can lift each other up. We can stay grounded when life gets really busy and full. And sometimes life is throwing little curveballs or big curveballs at us. So, having that community and like minded women who move forward at the same time can be so powerful. Now, this gorgeous goddess you see before you is Jody, and Jody is a member of our Charmed community. How are you, Jody?
Oh, I'm fabulous.
You
How are
look
you?
fabulous. I'm
Oh, well, thank you.
fabulous. It's a gorgeous summer day here at this time. And I'm just so grateful to be in here with you, with a sister, and having this intentional time together.
Me too.
Yay.
You're always a joy to be around.
Now, for anyone who's watching who doesn't know what Charmed is, what kind of community is, how would you describe it just in your own words?
Mm. I would describe our circle as uplifting, supportive, loving, understanding, but I also view it as a knitting circle where we all come together and share our ideas and create
Yeah,
create our best lives.
I love that. Yeah, the knitting circle. I'm thinking about my friend who actually comes to my Pilates class that I teach. She makes these gorgeous quilts. Like she is a quilt fanatic. And they have, of course, these quilting circles where they get together and craft and create together. And it's such a great analogy that you used because they're all making their own quilts and using their own imagination, creativity, but doing it at the same time is quite magical because you're like minded, you're in the energy together of creation. And I think the results are really amazing. Plus, when women get together, we tend to process, we tend to like talk about our emotions and talk about what's going on in life. What do you think's the power of that, Jody, of when women are talking together about their life? What does that do?
I think that supports all of us because we're all go through different things at different times in our lives. And it actually empowers us. It gives us the confidence to go out and be who we are and do what we need to do and know that we're not alone.
Yeah, so true. And I think that witnessing part of just we call that holding space in circle where you're holding space for somebody else and they just get to say what they need to say. I don't know about you, but I've definitely been in arguments with a partner before where we're not even an argument, but where there's like emotions and they're like trying to like fix the problem and I'm like, I just want you to listen to me. I'm like, I don't say anything. Holding space is a real art where we're just allowing for people to have their emotions, isn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What has your journey been like? We've recently been creating our My Charmed Life maps in the sisterhood, and maybe some of you watching have done it as well in a workshop with me, where we look to our past at what we've created in the past, and then we also look to the future, what we do want to create. So I'm curious, Jode, when you look back at your younger self, who were you and how have you changed since then?
Well, I I got stuck in the mundane and in survival mode, living day to day, and I put all my creativity Uh, Anything that really gave me joy in the background, I just kind of just blew it off and started surviving. And now I'm doing everything that I could ever imagine. Uh, Manifesting money, um, having more than enough, doing things that I never thought I'd do, like getting out of the plane and flying out of the country by myself. That was huge. And I can't wait to do it again.
Why do you think
But
why do you think we get trapped in survival mode? I don't want to minimize it because it's real, and some of you watching might feel like, "Oh, that's really actually me right now." And that's real. We feel there's real life struggles coming in, and we only have so much capacity to be able to stay regulated, to stay balanced amidst all of that. But I wonder, I'm just contemplating it now for myself in the moment. Why do we get stuck, some of us there, and maybe even through our whole lives, where we just can't seem to get out of that rut? Because you're an example of someone who did get herself out of that. What do you think keeps us stuck there?
scarcity, fear, judgment.
Mhm.
And that was a lot of why I basically shut down.
Mm.
I didn't speak my mind. I didn't speak my truth. And I had no confidence.
Mm.
So yeah, it's big. And then just pedaling on day-to-day things, trying to pay the bills and the house, the car, and work, and you just get so caught up in it. And it's
Yeah.
hard.
I like what you just said, just getting caught up in it, because I think we can think of it sort of like if we're working with the mind. I know we talk about mindfulness all the time, and we kind of throw that word around now, but mindfulness, I think what we're trying to do actually is be technical, be skilled with the mind, because the mind can run amok. And the way I look at it, and I remind myself of this all the time, is if we have a beautiful garden and the weeds start to grow and we don't take care of the weeds, which in our mind is negative thoughts. So if we're not taking care of the negative thinking, what happens? It actually expands, expands, expands. There's no space to plant new beautiful seeds. There's no room for new beautiful flowers to grow. It's not that they can't grow, there's total fertile ground there. It's just they're being crowded out. And I think we can end up spiraling kind of downwards. The mind can start to take over, and we lose our creativity. We lose the spark. The negativity compounds. But the good news with this is actually once we have skills and support around it, we can do the opposite. We've got the energy to weed, we're planting the seeds, we're being patient, we're watching the beauty start to grow, and we start to compound beauty and vitality instead of the scarcity, the negativity, and the fear. So I love that you just mentioned that, because somehow we get to tip the balance. And I do think education, awareness is part of it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think once you realize what it is that you're feeling and what you're doing, and everything just takes off. You
Yeah.
put your mind there and you manifest it, you draw it, you think about it.
What was one of the
Take them
biggest things?
action steps.
Oh, sorry, I missed that last part.
Oh
Can you say
no,
that again?
taking action.
Mm. What do you mean by that?
That's a big thing. I mean, like uh, uh, taking action by what you want to do, um, making taking steps to manifest what you want. do what you want to do. You put action behind it. Give it any little small action to put you towards your goal even quicker
Mm.
because it's just not going to fall in your lap. You have to work for it,
Mm.
and there has to be a change,
Mm. I love that. Yeah, because if we're just going along doing the same thing, but we're expecting something new to drop in,
right?
it's not. So we've got to change. What are some of the powerful things or tools that you've experienced that have helped you change?
Manifestation, visualization, meditation, sisterhood. That's a big one.
Yeah.
Seeing what other people have done and what they're doing and how
Mm.
they got there.
Mm. Beautiful. And that's exactly why I wanted to talk to you today, because then other women can watch this and be inspired, right? To try something new, to do something different. Tell me about the trip, the first time you went on a plane by yourself and leaving your city, going somewhere totally different, maybe not even having been at an airport before, because that's a big deal, actually. And a lot of women I talk to actually say like they really want to go traveling, but they're nervous to go alone. How did you feel? How was that for you? What happened?
I was petrified. My dad had passed away,
Hmm.
and he lives in Florida. He lived in Florida, and I'd never been there. I had never met his wife,
Wow.
my half brother, and I went and stayed with them. I got on the plane. It was like within 2 days. I had no time to even think about, you know, procrastination or any of that. I had to go. I was so scared. I
Mm.
was just, I was frozen in fear. I got on the plane and yeah, that was scary on my own. And then going to a place that I've never been to, staying with people I've never met. I was just, I was petrified, but I did it. And when in your greatest discomfort, you grow and expand and you find your comfort. Things always turn out better than you think they're gonna. And everything was great. It was after that, it was just, I can't say it was great. I went to my father's funeral, but there was nothing to be afraid of. But that was something I wanted to crawl out of my skin. I was so scared. But
Mm.
I did it. I'm proud of myself. And then I did it again. I came to Canada on my own, and that was exciting. That time I was ready. I was so shook up. I
Yeah.
was so ready,
That's
and
amazing.
it wasn't scary anymore
Yeah. So
because I knew I could do it.
I love what you're saying too, because it's a reminder that, we say we want to be more confident with things, but confidence doesn't just fall in your lap either. It actually comes from doing the things with repetition, and then it starts to grow. We start to understand the thing or enhance our abilities, or it's literally just practice, repetition that brings confidence. I know this so well from being a dancer, because I worked with a professional dance company, and I remember coming in after the summer, and we'd come in and there'd be a new choreographer, and we were about to make a new dance. The dance didn't exist at all. The music didn't exist yet. We had composers to make the music, and we would all sit there in a circle with this new choreographer we had never met, and it's exciting, but it's also kind of daunting at the same time. And we're like, we're going to make something from nothing. And then the choreographer might say, okay, we're going to try, I've got a few ideas, we're going to try a few things. There really is not a lot of certainty at the beginning. Sometimes you're like, I'm not completely certain this is going to turn out okay. I don't even know this choreographer. I think it's going to be fine. And but then we just do it, and then the certainty grows and the dancer's confidence grow because they've done the same move over and over, and they're getting better and better at it and more expressive with it. Now we can say, "Oh, I'm really confident. This is going to be great. I can't wait to share this." So, same thing for you. You're traveling by yourself and the confidence is growing and growing, and I'm sure it spilled out into other areas of your life. What was it like, Jody, when you came back, when you went back home after traveling to Canada, and then you're back in your usual environment?
Uh, I wanted to go again.
You're like, well, let's go. Yeah, you're like,
Let's do it.
let's do it again.
We can go anywhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're ready for the next adventure.
Next adventure. Yeah, it's so exciting. You get the wanderlust. I always feel that too when I'm traveling. I'm
Yeah.
like, now I'm in this new place. I'm like, where should I go next? What are we going to do now? It's such a great, great feeling. Thank you for sharing that. And for any woman that's watching, now inside our Charmed community circle, we meet on a consistent basis to sometimes have a full moon ceremony, create and clarify intentions, and to be witnessed in them, right? Different than a solo practice, which is still important, of journaling and doing our meditation and maybe dancing or singing, whatever your practices are, going out in nature. When we have community, like Jode was saying earlier, there's a lot of ups and downs in life that it becomes kind of this beautiful sacred space that is a baseline. And Jody's a musician, so I know you'll appreciate this, like a baseline and consistency and rhythm that is consistent in our lives. It's almost, I'm getting an image of a clock ticking in the background where it's just like going around. So Charmed is like that. So you can come in and get into the consistency and rhythm and flow, right? And even if you don't come for a little while, you come back in and you're just right back into the flow. It's very low pressure. It's not school. There's no homework. You don't have to keep up with trainings that pop out every single week. Um, it's a very soothing kind of space, but also one that brings a lot of deep reflection. So, Jode, for any woman that's watching and wondering if they will fit in or if this would be right for them, what would you want them to know?
You're not going to find any other place like this. Everybody is so loving and welcoming and cheering you on. We all support each other and everybody's welcome. Like Des said, we meet you where you are. And even if you're gone for a bit, you can always come back home.
Yeah. And
That's what it is for me.
what do you think is
Home.
one of the biggest tangible results that we could anchor into? Because it's about rhythm, it's about accepting change, aligning with seasons of our own life, the seasons of the earth, moon, and stars, women's wisdom coming back online. But there are tangible things that happen in our lives that we can say, oh, well, I relocated, I moved, or XYZ. Maybe there are even things you've noticed with some of the other sisters in the group. What do you think are some tangible examples of change? Anything you can think of?
Yeah, the biggest one for me was financial security.
Wow, yeah, that's huge.
It is huge. It's
What
really big not to have to struggle every day,
okay.
every week, every month, or wonder now you're going to do this or that.
How did that work? Was it like extra income showed up? Did you get a job, an extra job? How did that work?
Um, Actually, for me, I was donating plasma to
Wow.
pay for my courses. And from there, it just kind of snowballed. It was like, after a while, it's like, wow, I'm not worried about it anymore.
Wow. Interesting. And I
Yeah.
remember you saying your partner got some extra consistent income as well, like just a little
Yes.
bit
Yes.
more adding into the pot too. And you were like, wow, this is so, so nice.
Yeah. Take some bricks off my shoulders. And it's
Yeah,
nice. It's amazing.
that's really
So
amazing.
magical.
I love to
Mhm.
hear that. And there's kind of a set point, isn't there, where we might have a certain amount of money in the bank account for some people, and we feel like we just can't get past that amount. And I love that you mentioned more than enough and overflow, and just to feel like, oh, I could go into the grocery store and not count every single item that goes into the cart. So I love that for you because it feels like it brings, well, you tell me, what's the feeling that comes from seeing that overflow? How do you feel?
Oh, it's magical. It really is. It's free. It's freedom. It's very freeing not to have to sit and worry about what you're spending, what you're doing. It takes so much stress off you, and you have so much more freedom in life, definitely.
Yeah.
And you can just go do what you want to do when you want to do it, and it it's there. You're free to do it.
More options, more
Yeah. Mhm.
choices.
Mhm. It opens
And
up a whole new world.
right, a whole new world. That's amazing. And for anyone watching, you can think about where do you not feel like you're a 10 out of 10 in your life? For Jody, at a certain point, it was the financial piece, but for people watching, maybe it's something else. Maybe it's finding your ideal partner or adventure and travel, like Jody was talking about as well, or another area of life. Where are you not a 10 out of 10? And just getting that awareness without any self-judgment. And then of course we're contemplating, how can I move that to a 10? What would I need to do? Am I kind of waiting for it to drop out of the sky? Maybe it's your health and you've been kind of avoiding doing the things you know you need to do, like not eat bread, not eat sugar, all those things. For most humans that's true. But why do we keep doing them even though we know it's keeping us low on that scale to 10? Well, there's something within us that's probably unconscious that needs to shift and change, right? In that case, we're getting pleasure from eating the sugar and the food, so and the bread. So we don't want to stop. It kind of makes sense. But could we shift that, replace it with something else? Maybe the underlying cause is a lack of connection, right? Because if we felt really fulfilled in relationship and had lots of friends and felt excited about life, maybe we just wouldn't think about that as much. And it would just start to, that would go down and our happiness and health would go up. That's just one example, but that's the kind of focus we have in the sisterhood, is getting at unconscious programming, turning it around so that we're in a beautiful upward spiral of positivity. And Jody is one of the most positive people I've ever met, and you will feel like $1,000,000 when you're around her. So there's a lot of shifts that can happen to get your number up to 10. I think as humans, we love to point the finger outward and say, oh, it's it's the way the world is right now. Oh, it's because of this person, or oh, it's because of this organization. And there's some truth to circumstances, but I do believe on a spiritual level, we create our external reality based on what we've been thinking. And a lot of our thoughts are not true. Again, we're weeding the garden. So Charmed is an opportunity to come in playfully with creativity. We dance, we sometimes draw and paint, we sing or chant, we chat, we pull oracle cards, all creative tools to help you weed the garden and bring your own essence, creativity, and expression forward so that you feel creative in creating your life. Joe, before I let you go, and thank you so much again for being here today. What what when you look on your map at your future, your charmed life future, and your next era that you're in and you're creating, what is something that you're really looking forward to? Something that you're really feeling happy about?
Holding moon temples in person
Yes.
and teaching courses
Yes.
and definitely writing more.
Writing
I
more, did you
love
say?
writing. Yes, definitely writing more. I lost that spark and it's come back.
Good. I love, love, love hearing that. I love hearing that. So beautiful. Yeah, in-person moon temples. I know you've been speaking about that, and it's divine timing too, and there's a lot of logistics to make that happen too. And you can totally do it. Yeah, I'm
Can't
excited.
wait. So exciting.
Yeah, the world needs you. That you're so positive and so skilled. I remember I had a friend one time that said to me, she just said, it would be a shame if you don't share your talents and your gifts. And that kind of turned things around for me because where I felt imposter syndrome or I was doubting, like, do I have talents? Do I have something? Um, in that moment I thought, wait, like give my head a shake because if I don't share, even if I just have a little bit of talent and I don't share it, someone could be missing out. And so that really helped me change things around. So, same thing for you. It would be a shame if you did not do a moon temple because imagine all the local people in your town that could benefit from emotional intelligence, intuitive intelligence, anchoring into a beautiful rhythm, and having friends.
Yes, absolutely.
You got
Our
this.
medicine is so needed. It is so needed.
Yeah, what do you want
And
to say to the women
it's
here?
now.
I'm going to hand the mic over to you to finish up here. What do you want to say to everybody here?
I want to tell everybody, come join our sisterhood. This is going to be the greatest thing you've ever done for yourself. It was for me, and it's home. I came in and I never left, and I don't ever plan on leaving. We love and support each other, and Desiree at the helm, she's amazing, helping us learn, excuse me, everything that we need to relearn, I should say. We need to relearn. We're taught a lot of different traumas in our lives that are not real, but the truth is there. And we always help each other see the truth.
Mm,
Even if something comes up in your monkey minds all over the place, we give each other clarity,
mm,
love, and support, and you gain your voice and your confidence. And yeah, in community with like-minded women.
beautiful. Beautifully said. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
And
You're
thanks
amazing.
everybody for watching all the way to the end. I know we'll have charm sisters that are watching here, new beautiful people that have never met me or Jody before. So thank you really from the bottom of my heart for taking the time to be here and to watch this all the way through. And I'll put more information about Charmed down below. It's for women who, like Jody said, are relearning and remembering actually who they are when they turn down the noise of the outside world. They turn down the noise of our mind, and you remember who you really are. And sometimes it takes having a quiet place, a supportive place, and new skills and tools to actually even turn down the noise. And that's really the first step. And that's what I love supporting you in, is turning down that noise. It's not about getting more information. It's actually about listening and revealing what's already inside of you. And I look forward to seeing some of you in the circle very soon. We're going to have fun in there. We like to do sparkly fingers around here. Try it at home. Sparkly fingers whenever we enjoy something or we agree with it. Sparkly fingers. Thanks for watching, everybody. I will see you all next time. And thanks, Jode. We can stay on for another minute or so once I stop the recording. Bye, everybody.